What is wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost. Sue, you had fun tonight, did you?
Yeah, the party was fine. Just, yeah, nothing special.
There was this one night I'll never forget. A night that taught me more than all the warnings I'd ever heard from my parents. It was a Saturday, and I'd been planning for weeks to attend a huge party with my friends. My parents had told me over and over, don't go out late at night. It's dangerous. You don't know what could happen. But I told myself nothing would go wrong. After all, my friends did it all the time. I wanted to have fun, and I wasn't about to let some old-fashioned advice hold me back. So when the night finally came, I waited until everyone in my house was fast asleep. My heart was pounding partly from excitement and partly from the fear of sneaking out. I slipped on my shoes, grabbed my bag and tiptoed out the door, carefully closing it behind me. The air outside was cool and the whole town was alive with laughter and lights as I joined my friends. The party was everything I'd hoped for: loud music, dancing, friends all around and pure fun. Hours flew by and soon enough it was midnight. My friends started talking about staying the night, saying it wasn't safe to head home that late. But I was stubborn. I told myself I'll be fine. I know the way home and I'll sneak back in just like I snuck out. My friends tried to convince me to stay, but I brushed them off laughing. I started walking home alone, the party sounds fading behind me. It was then that the darkness truly hit me. The road stretched ahead, looking longer than it ever had before. There was no street lights, just the moon casting long air shadows. The deeper I walked, the more the silence settled in. No laughter, no music, just the quiet of the night. As I walked, my mind began playing tricks on me. I remembered all the scary stories my parents and even my grandmother used to tell me. Stories of spirits that haunted girls who didn't obey. I'd always laugh them off. But now, alone in the dead of the night, they felt real. I could almost hear my grandmother's voice warning me. The spirits of the forest don't like it when people wander at night. Every shadow seemed to move, and the rustling sound made me to jump. I quickened my pace, telling myself it was just my imagination. But as I kept going, I started hearing strange noises, like whispers floating in the air, calling my name softly. I told myself it was just the wind, that there was no one there, but my heart was racing. Ada, Ada. The voice was soft, almost a hiss. I felt a shiver run down my spine. I didn't dare to look back. I just kept walking faster and faster, the whisper seeming to follow me, growing louder with each step. At one point, I was sure I saw something move in the trees beside me. A shadow, tall and thin, flickering in and out of the dark. My mind was racing with every scary story I'd ever heard, and it felt like they were all coming true at once. I wanted to run, but my legs felt heavy, like something was holding me back. By now, I was practically sprinting, too terrified to look anywhere but straight ahead. The trees around me looked like twisted hands reaching out, the shadows growing longer and darker, like they were alive. I couldn't shake the feeling that something was following me, drawing closer with every step. Finally, I saw the lights of my house in the distance. Relief flooded through me, and I ran as fast as I could, reaching the door, fumbling with the handle and busting inside. I slammed the door shut behind me and leaned against it, my heart pounding in my chest. Then I heard a voice behind me. I jumped, only to realize it was my mom, standing in her nightgown and looking at me with a little smile.
What is wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost.
I stood there, catching my breath, still leaning against the door, looking at my mom with wide eyes. My heart was still racing, and even though I knew it was just my imagination, I couldn't still shake the feeling of fear. But there was no way I was going to admit that to her. My mom raised an eyebrow, looking like she was holding back a laugh. My mom raised an eyebrow, looking like she was holding back a laugh.
Sue, you had fun tonight, did you?
She asked, crossing her arms and waiting. I stammered, trying to make up a quick excuse.
Yeah, the party was fine. Just, yeah, nothing special.
My mom smiled, knowing I was trying to play it cool. She nodded slowly, still not breaking eye contact, like she was expecting me to confess the whole thing. And honestly, I almost did, because I felt so guilty. But instead, I just said,
I think I will be going to be now.
as I turned to leave, she said,
Oh, by the way, Ada, you should have just stayed over. You know why?
I stopped, feeling my heart dip a bit. Her tone had changed. I turned slowly, bracing myself for some deep spiritual warning.
Why?
She grinned and said,
Because Papa left a surprise in the backyard. He thought you'd stay over, so he thought he'd help you learn your lesson.
What do you mean, a surprise?
Oh, nothing. Just a little someone. You know, just in case you thought about coming home late. Let's just say we know you're scared of shadows.
My eyes widened as I realized what she meant. I bolted from my room, hearing her laughter behind me. All this time, I thought I was alone out there. But now I realized that my dad had probably been hiding in the backyard the whole time, just waiting to jump out and scare me. As I threw myself onto my bed, I couldn't help but laugh. I had been scared of shadows, of whispers, of things that didn't even exist, and all the while the real joke was on me. My parents knew exactly how to get into my head, and I laughed so hard that tears came down my eyes, feeling both silly and relieved. And from that night on, I listened when my parents warned me about going out late, not because I believed in spirits or strange shadows, but because I knew they would always find a way to teach me a lesson. So to anyone thinking about sneaking out, just remember, sometimes the biggest fright comes from the right inside. So to anyone thinking about sneaking out, just remember, sometimes the biggest fright comes from right inside your own head.